My, what do we have here? Oh yes, the ultimate tub of lard bucket of both!
The fuck is this stuttering, man? Fuck, stutter again. Ah, shit. Don't stutter now. No, don't.
Наваляв, га? Не думав, що хтось за мене впишеться. Тут таку історію почуєш рідше, ніж.
Motherfucker, where is it? Where the is it? I swear to God. You laughing, girl? You trying to laugh? This funny? Let me show you some fucking.
Yes! 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 Yes!
Краще одразу померти.
No! 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 Fuck! Shit! Cunt! Balls! Oh! Oh my fucking god! Oh my fucking god! Oh my fucking god, man!
Я шукаю
You
припою.
cannot be serious. You cannot.
Ні,
You're taking-
з цим до баті. Він отам сидить.
Uncle George.
"1986. What a year, eh? Barbara Streisand and John Peters part ways. Voyager 2 flies over Uranus, and Metallica releases Master of Puppets, which is considered by many, myself included, to be their best work yet. On the other side of the globe, however, things aren't going so great. I mean, depends on the point of view, I suppose. On April the 26th, the gentlemen running the fourth reactor of the nuclear power plant in Chernobyl decide to play a practical joke and detonate the fucker to high heavens, thus starting a race against time to prevent Soviet Union from tearing Europe a new nuclear asshole. I mean, we already had Birmingham. Thanks to the dedication and planning of scientists and countless sacrifices of people putting those plants into actions, however, the disaster is more or less contained, and what we're left with when it's all said and done is a 30-kilometer exclusion zone containing the entire city and dozens of small villages preserved in their state like in the time capsule from 1986. Now let me say that again. There is a post-nuclear, perfectly preserved area with abandoned towns and a fucking mid-sized untouched city in the middle, and a defunct power plant? If that doesn't immediately scream Fallout road trip to you, then I guess I must have been closer to the explosion than I realized, and my brain is working very differently as a result. That would actually answer a lot of lingering questions, to be frank. Anyway, the area has always had a mystique around it. Many people must have felt the same way as I did as they were trying to force their way inside with varying level of success. After 2 decades or so, the floods of people became so intense in fact that the zone became a tourist attraction of sorts and you could book yourself a group tour of the area and the city without much difficulty. I always regretted not venturing in during the early days, despite living a stone throw away from it all at the time. After it became a tourist destination, however, and getting in was as easy as buying a group travel package, as long as you could stomach the now prevalent Instagram tots running around everywhere treating the whole area like their own personal photo shoot.
Jesus, what is that?
It lost a lot of its allure for me. Fortunately, I am not the type that makes many journeys between my work at the mines, the local convenience store, and my PC, so I was very excited to see a relatively small studio named Hryhorovich Sergei Konstantinovich Game World, founded by, well, Sergei Konstantinovich Hryhorovich. Previously known for a game called Cossacks, which is a simulator of what happens when you start annoying drunk Poles, deciding to take a shot at making an FPS set in a world which is an amalgamation of the exclusion zone we just talked about and a novel titled Roadside Picnic by the Strugatsky brothers. The result of their hard work was Stalker, a game with big ambitions, grand scope, for the time, interesting game mechanics and a fascinating lore. It was also a shitty FPS with god-awful combat with full hit detection, laughable stealth with fucking too good detection this time, broken quests, bad progression, wonky physics, and it also loved to crash a lot. And what I just told you, dear nephew, is a definition of what I like to call a Slav game. Eastern Bloc product, a Slav game, has an interesting premise, maybe some unique mechanics to boot, definitely out of passion and love, but ultimately it is so goddamn botched that only the strongest will press through to its conclusion. And if you think about it, this definition neatly fits a lot of the games from that region. Witcher 1? Sure, great game, but had to have an enhanced edition years later to be palatable, same as its brother Witcher 2, which also had to have an enhanced edition. Not convinced yet? Okay, early Metro 2033. A game with great story and setting, but horribly unpolished and sometimes barely playable. Oh, you haven't played it? No worries. How about early Cyberpunk, which was such a disaster that PlayStation pulled it off its stores and Martin had to come out from under the tree trunk and say he was sorry.
I and the entire leadership team are deeply sorry for this, and this video is me publicly owning up to that.
And to all those affected, I want to say, we are deeply sorry. We're sorry. We're sorry.
Yeah, cheers for that, mate. But you see, dear nephews, a Slav game is a process. A journey, if you will. You start out rough with these games, and that's by design. For example, imagine you are a young gopnik in the middle of the night crossing a dodgy park in southeastern Poland on your way to the petrol station to get some much needed vodka and pasztet. Yes, you can buy alcohol on the petrol station in Poland, a convenience that would make perfect sense, but it's strangely absent in places like the UK. Your journey will be perilous and will probably include fighting an angry dust harpy, competing with the local stray dog for territory and influence, defending yourself from mugging from other gopniks, which may or may not result in an open gunfight, helping your neighbors with the house chores, and 3 out of 5 times saving your mate from a dodgy drinking party in an abandoned garage. After that, however, you can indulge in your well-deserved pasztet and a bottle of warm vodka on top of the newest abandoned factory chimney, enjoying a long and lonely look at the horizon in search of your broken dreams, contemplating the choices and motivations that drove your parents to birth you in a place like Poland. And this is what it feels like to journey not through, but with a Slav game. The people making them tend to aim high, but the skills are usually not there yet. And I should know, I do the same with those videos. So they learn while they create, and although it usually does not hit the mark, they do improve and make the game better and better. Through patches and mods, like all games I've mentioned previously, it will shine and deliver on the promises it began with. This is something I can't really promise with those videos though. Witcher, for example, became an international franchise that laid the financial and talent foundation for Cyberpunk, which itself rose to be a great game. So good in fact that it ultimately destroyed CD Projekt's Red's integrity and sealed the deal on their existence.
My name is Piotr Nielubowicz. I'm a member of the board and CFO at CD Projekt. I'm also personally involved in a range of environmental, social and governance initiatives, ESG for short.
I hope I am wrong on this one. I really do. Metro went on to become a trilogy, and a successful one at that, with all of its games getting some form of enhanced re-release. And finally, Stalker was massively improved and spawned 2 side games and a sequel. Now, original Stalker never vibed with me even after the updates. I love the setting, I mean it's close to what I would have seen through my window on a daily basis, but I found the gameplay lacking. That is, until I found Stalker Gamma. Side note, if you're a true Slav like me and you love to make your day a little bit more miserable than it already is, Gamma has you covered. A fantastic mix of brutal Tarkov-like combat and Stalker exploration with all survival mechanics cranked all the way up to 11. You get a bullet, you die. If you somehow don't die, you will be healing yourself for hours. This, plus hunger, thirst, real nasty radiation poisoning, scarcity of materials and ammo make it for truly grueling experience. And I am all in for it. If you haven't played it, give it a go. Link in the description. So, Uncle, why all this talking instead of just enjoying the game, you ask? Well, because the fucker doesn't work for me at the moment. Moments after arriving in the first town, the game framerate decides to shit the bed. Restarting helps, yes, but that's no way to play such an immersive game. I tried some early mods before Nexus decides to delete them, but unfortunately none of them really helped much. So maybe it's a memory leak of sorts? It might be the fact I've set everything to max and something in my PC is bottlenecking like crazy? But apart from the fact my PC does meet the recommended specs no problem, lowering stuff didn't really help much. Or maybe because in my all-encompassing knowledge and wisdom, I bought Intel's i9-13900K, a processor so powerful that it actually fucks up your system, making older Unreal games crash every 20 seconds and new Unreal games run suboptimally, to say it kindly. And on top of all that, the fucker starts oxidizing, and Intel never bothered to mention any of this. Thanks, Patrick. I hope your fucking cock starts oxidizing, you lying suck of cunt.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
It jumped up a notch.
It did, didn't it?
Yeah, I stabbed a man in the heart.
Or maybe, just maybe, is the fact that this is a Slav game through and through. Now, I understand the situation in Ukraine is not the best at the moment, but trust me when I say that I know my Slavs, and even if everything was fine and dandy over there, the game would release in the same shitty state as it is now. It's just part of the price you pay for a Slav game. Mind you, many people seem to be enjoying it just fine. I've seen full playthroughs on max settings without a hitch on YouTube, and there are quite a few people streaming it without major problems. On the other hand, however, there are people who can't get the game to run at all. Whatever the problems may be, dear nephews, all I wanted to say is don't give up on it just yet. I wish all of us could be enjoying the game now, but sadly it's just not meant to be at the moment. Fortunately, from the brief sections I've played, the game looks and feels amazing, and as history teaches us, I am sure it will get to the point that more of us, me included, can enjoy it. Well, hope it works for you, and if it doesn't, I hope it will soon. Thanks for watching, take care out there, and we will speak soon.